Frankfurt International Airport, Terminal D, 6:42 a.m. The morning began, as always, with noise. The hum of boarding stairs, the murmur of voices, the drone of thoughts. An airport is a heart suspended between worlds, between lives. People look at the departure boards more than they look into each other's eyes. Here, seconds flow into hours, and no one remembers who was sitting beside them on the bench at gate D27 just 10 minutes ago. He appeared like something impossible in a rational world, as if a gramophone suddenly started playing in the middle of all this sleek digital modernity. Tall, lean, with the posture of a soldier, but the face of a monk. He wore a long dark coat that smelled faintly of old wood and rain. Wide-brimmed hat. Gloves, the old-fashioned leather kind. One suitcase, heavy. No stickers, no tags. Just a thing from another time. He stopped in front of the check-in counter for flight LH3105. There was an hour and a half until departure. The line was short, but he waited patiently. No phone in hand, no glancing at his watch. He stood like this moment contained all of time. "Next, please," called the woman behind the desk. He stepped forward and handed over his passport. Dark green, thick cover. Name, Arnold K. Helvig. Date of birth, January 7th, 1902. Citizenship, Germany. At first, she thought it was a prank. Then, a film shoot. Then, she looked at him and began to doubt her reality. "Excuse me," she swallowed. "Is this your passport?" "It is," he nodded. "I had the photo updated recently, in 68. I still had a mustache back then." 68, she echoed automatically. "Yes, 1968. Everything seemed simpler then, even the air." A pause. She called for a colleague, then another. Within minutes, 2 security officers approached the counter, not aggressively, but with courteous confusion. "Sir," one of them asked gently, "would you mind confirming your age?" "Certainly," he said with a calm voice. "I'm 123. My back ached a bit this morning, but otherwise quite manageable, though the bed at the hotel was a bit stiff." People around began to turn their heads. Phones went up. Someone whispered, "This is a prank. Hidden camera? Actors somewhere." But no one laughed. Because he didn't look like a joke. He looked real. He wasn't elderly in the way we imagine. His face was lined, yes. His eyes, deep, tired. But in them was the silence of centuries. Like alpine lakes, still, but all-seeing. His voice wasn't loud, but firm. Each word like a polished stone, carefully chosen. "I'm flying to St. Petersburg," he said calmly. "Today marks 40 years since my wife passed away. She's buried at Smolensk Cemetery. I must be there before sunset. It matters." "Why today?" someone asked softly. He looked toward the window. Planes moved like toys against the brightening sky. "Because I gave my word, and I've kept it for 80 years, as long as I could. Why didn't you go before?" "There was a time I couldn't. Then came the time it was too late, and now it's simply time. You know when it's time. Everyone does." In that moment, the entire terminal seemed to pause. Even the announcements felt quieter. No one quite understood what was happening, but no one could look away. He was like a living reminder of something important, of eternity, of love, of memory. Someone from the staff murmured, "He hasn't broken any law. The passport's valid, and he has a ticket." Security exchanged glances. One of them picked up the radio and said something quietly, but no one tried to stop him. The woman at the desk silently printed the boarding pass. Her hands trembled, but she smiled. He took the paper, gave a small nod of gratitude, turned, and walked toward the gate, slowly, as if he still had all the time in the world. People stepped aside instinctively. Someone whispered, "That's him, a man from the past, or the future, or maybe both." Just before turning the corner to the terminal, he paused, looked back. His eyes scanned the crowd. They settled on a boy, maybe 12 years old, holding a tablet, but, for the first time in a long while, not looking at it. He was staring directly at the man. Arnold K. Helvig gave him a nod, as if passing on something important, and then he disappeared around the corner. And in that moment, something strange happened in the airport. Someone just started crying, for no reason. Or maybe, for every reason there ever was. If this story left a mark on you, consider subscribing, so you won't miss more stories like this, from those who have lived longer than time. Share in the comments how it made you feel. Do you believe people like that exist? And if it resonated with you, give it a like. It means a lot. Your support and engagement are what inspire me to keep creating more.